Now I'm hoping during this off season you've had time to recover and recuperate. Now even the pros, the World Tour pros, have around a week or 2 weeks completely off the bike. Now if you're looking at getting back into your training, I'm here to talk about how you can incorporate strength work into your training. Doing some strength training can help gently ease your body back into training. It can help prepare your body, make it stronger and more resilient so that when you up that volume, your body can take it. Now I'm off to meet Yewande, who's a TrainingPeaks ambassador. She's a crit racer and a track rider. Now her ability to win depends on hitting those big numbers, those maximum watts. And also her work with TrainingPeaks means she's an expert in putting structured training and putting a plan together to maximize her training and her wattage. So I caught up with her for a quick coffee. So we found ourselves a nice coffee shop, but unfortunately it's too loud in there, so we're braving the rain. So I apologise to Yewande for having the coffee stop at the start of the ride outside in the rain. Anyway, straight on to business. Now we're talking strength training today, and I want to know, how important is strength training to the training you do and to cyclists in general?
It's really important because you kind of want to lay like a strength foundation when you start any training, and it helps you think about how you want to recruit the muscles that you use and have a more efficient pedal stroke. And for me, as someone who likes to sprint, being able to push big gears.
And then how easy is it and how long does it take to kind of put those strength training, sessions into a wider schedule or plan?
So, it depends how much you want to put into it. For me, I don't work with a coach, but I use TrainingPeaks to schedule my sessions, and I kind of start off with an overall view, which might take like an hour, and then on a week by week basis I'll fill it out with specific sessions depending on my schedule, and that can take like 20 to 30 minutes, and it's quite easy to like move stuff around and put in notes on TrainingPeaks so I can
so you can utilise it to the best. And I think I always used a coach, and it was really easy to have him, sort my training out for me. All I had to do was ride my bike and make sure I did it to the best of my ability. But if you're, working on your own schedule, it is as easy to do it yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you don't actually want to do the work yourself, then there are lots of training plans available on TrainingPeaks without actually having to work with a coach.
Right. So enough talking about it then and planning our schedules. We're going to go out on the bike to show you guys at home how to do some strength sessions while out on the bike. So we are going to brave the wintry weather, the wet weather of the UK, and show you how it's done, aren't we?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Right, first off though, nice hot drink.
Cheers.
Right, cheers. So Yewande, now we're on the bike and we're heading over to do our strength sessions, but it's about the perfect time where we can learn a bit more about you and how you got into cycling. So first question, how do you get into cycling?
So I used to row, and then decided to switch over to cycling because people said I should give track cycling a go.
Okay, and did you enjoy track cycling?
I loved it. Like from the first time I was on the velodrome, it was absolutely amazing, but also terrifying at the same time.
I think everyone has that same feeling. Is it just track cycling you do?
I also do crit racing, so it means I can still do some explosive efforts out on the road, as well as on the track.
And how long have you been riding your bike?
I think coming up to 6 years now.
And you don't just ride a bike, do you? You also do a PhD, I'm right in saying?
Yeah, so I'm writing that up at the moment. It's been pretty intense. And then I also coach rowing, so it's a pretty full-on schedule.
So how do you fit your PhD, your coaching, your training, how do you fit that into your day-to-day life?
It's a very good question. I think it takes a lot of forward planning, and for my training in particular, I use TrainingPeaks to help me schedule stuff and try and map things out around my other commitments, and that's been working quite well.
And do you use a coach or do you do it all yourself?
I'm self-coached at the moment, so it's just kind of nice to have control over things.
And do you enjoy strength training?
Love strength training.
Do you prefer it in the gym or on the bike?
In the gym, but over lockdown when I didn't have access to one, I actually did quite a lot of stuff indoors on the bike.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how much strength training do you do on the bike, like the sessions we're going to do today?
So back then I was probably doing it 2 to 3 times a week.
Nice.
And now probably maybe once a week because I'm in the gym.
Yeah, fair. Well, it's about time we now hit the climb, which is coming up shortly, and we show you some of these sessions that you can do while out on the bike. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Don't show me up. Don't show me up, all right? All right.
We'll see about that.
All right. So, Yewande, we've had a good warm-up.
Yeah.
The rain's coming down. I think it's the perfect time to perform some of these strength efforts. What's the first one which, well, you reckon we should take a bite into?
So we'll start with some short efforts.
Yeah.
So 20 to 30 seconds,
Nice.
max, so 10 out of 10. And then we'll go for 5 to 10 minutes recovery.
And what's the importance of the recovery?
To make sure that when you start each effort, you can go max effort every time
Yeah.
and not take down the intensity.
Agreed. Okay, so if you're at home and you're looking to perform these, we would look to do that on a like 10% climb like the one we're on here, or into a headwind, or maybe even with your brakes on. And if you're in Florida, well, a bridge works quite well. Anyway, it's about time we roll into these. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you doing it together?
Yeah.
Same time?
Same time, big
Right,
gear.
big gear, you ready? So you want to look to go into like a walking pace. If you've got a friend to do it with, it makes it a lot better. Right, 3, 2, 1, go! Now you can do these seated or standing, but I have to say I like to mix it up. 3 on one, 3 on the other, and then a nice recovery.
Oh,
Good effort,
try
huh?
that.
Right, what's next?
So we'll go into some medium length efforts now.
Like it.
About 2 minutes long.
Nice.
Same scenario, so that 10% climb, and then looking for a low cadence, and that's still that max effort.
Yeah, and around 50 RPM if you've got a cadence sensor on your bike. Right, it's about time we stop talking about it and we try and perform it. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Are you in? Oh, nailed it! Nailed it! So, as we said before, we're going to medium strength efforts. Now, these are 2 minutes, as we said before, 50 RPM. Try and hold on as long as you can. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right, choose that big gear. Same rolling start. Do you want to count us in?
Sure. 3, 2, 1, go.
So these efforts are 9.5 on the exertion scale, so not max. And you want to feel every pedal stroke, engaging every muscle group, from your glutes right down to your quads and your calves. So Yewande, that's not it, is it? We've got another one.
Yeah, my least favourite.
Yeah.
But we've got to get it done.
Exactly that.
So, longer efforts, 10 minutes, low cadence, thinking about that muscle recruitment again.
Yeah, but that perceived exertion is going down to around a 7 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah, so slightly lower,
Yeah.
just to match how long you're going to be riding for.
Now, the key thing in this is that you can involve these in longer rides. They work quite well on a 3-hour or 2-hour ride. And we would say about 3 sets if you can manage it. But even just doing one is going to really help. And as you progress, you can build up those sets. Right, you ready?
Not really.
No, nor am I. It's got to happen. We've got to do it. Right, see you in a minute. Here goes. Now, one thing to mention though is you don't necessarily have to do it on a climb. A lot of you don't have 10-minute climbs in your area, so you can do it on a flat piece of road. Just make sure you choose a big enough gear. And if you live on the Alps, well, good luck for you. It's unfair. I wish I was with you. Anyway, 3,
Yep.
2,
Yep.
1, let's go. Now, I would say the nice thing about doing it out on the road is that time goes faster.
Yeah,
I always find
definitely.
it's, instead of being on like the turbo or an indoor trainer, I feel like getting outside just kind of takes your mind off the effort in hand, and if you have a friend with you, then all the better.
Yeah, helps if you've got some nice views too, even if it isn't great.
Yeah, exactly. Right, I hope you enjoyed those efforts. Let us know in the comment section below if you use them, or you'd like to hear more about the strength training that you can do on the bike. And now it's about time, well, we head to the cafe.
I like that idea.
I like that too, yeah. So we found ourselves a nice cafe, hot chocolate. I guess the good thing about those strength sessions, not only do they build your muscular strength, but they also keep you nice and warm when the weather's pretty grim.
Agreed.
Moving on from those strength sessions, or, well, say moving on, but how would how often would you plan to put, your strength sessions in, whether that be in the gym, on the bike, or on the turbo trainer?
So if I was at like the start of a training plan, then I'd look to put it in like 2 to 3 times a week, and then probably less on the bike as I moved through into like a power phase and then a speed phase. But it's really important to build like that strength foundation, and then it will help you as you go through your cycling program.
And then talking about TrainingPeaks, what do you love? What are the features that you kind of really love and use on a day-to-day basis?
So my favourite feature is the peak performance tracker.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you get a little medal at the end of a workout to show you
Everyone loves a medal.
Everyone loves a medal.
Yeah.
So it shows you like whether you've hit like a top 3 performance, either like power or heart rate for that year, or like best ever.
Like
so
a big PB.
Nice. Yeah, big PB.
I think the one biggest tip I would also take away that can genuinely help you at home is the TSS metric, which is your training stress score, which basically enables you to understand where you are and if you're overloading the training or if you're overtraining, because the last thing you want to do is overload, do too much, get ill, and then you have to take time off the bike. Is that right?
Yeah, so the training stress score is like something that's really important to track. I do that. And if you're building a training program, then you kind of want to progressively increase that, and you don't want any sharp spikes, otherwise, it might not work out so well.
There you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Well, we're going to smash our hot chocolate and then have a nice ride back to GCN Megabase.
Got a question for you though.
Hit me.
Are you someone that always keeps their helmet on, even at a cafe stop?
Yeah. Yeah, you can never be too safe.
Safety first.
So as we make our way back to GCN Megabase, I think it's about time we thank Yewande for taking us on the ride and sharing some of her expertise on training and on TrainingPeaks. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I have. Definitely the cafe stop was the best bit.
What about the efforts?
Beat you in a sprint.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to mention that one. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, as I hope you did, make sure you let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Right, you ready for a race?